Welcome to Mastering Your Monday podcast. And this is the show that talks about boundaries, work-life balance, and living a life where you have control. This is for highly driven professionals who want to develop a more balanced professional and personal life and live out their true values. Those who are ready to grab the reins and change the status quo. The professional who's ready to have a life again and who's ready to take a stand, living in a way that you feel respected, valued, and fulfilled each and every day. We talk about topics like setting boundaries, taking risks, life management, and all the tips, techniques, and strategies to help you master your Monday, one day at a time. My most favorite time of the year is summer. Right off the bat, it's the heat that I love the most. I love being warm, but there are more great benefits that I like tapping into also. Things like super long days of sunlight and the warmth, accessibility of a variety of fruits and vegetables, and multiple ways of using them. With so many temptations out there this time of year, how do you stay on track with your healthy food commitment? I love a great conversation. So come on, pull up a chair, ringside that is, and let's talk the real deal today on episode 19, how to master eating healthy foods in summer. Now, I know I've told you before, but just in case you don't know, I am a stone cold foodie. I love food. And even when I don't, eat certain things anymore, I love looking at food and even watching others eat it and enjoy it. I know I got it bad, but I've learned over time certain foods don't like me. So, this is one area of my life I have to keep on lockdown and even master. With all the ice creameries, cookouts, carnivals, amusement parks, picnics, and family reunions, and outdoor concerts going on now. And with all of the COVID restrictions being lifted, I wanted to share some of my tips for remaining healthy, even with all these temptations. And first of all, there are some quick fixes that we can do to make sure we stay on track. More than anything, most of us want to soak up that wonderful weather, that daylight and time with friends and family, and being in the kitchen is not something you want to find yourself chained to. But we have to eat, right? So, having things ready ahead of time or just finding a way to create healthy alternatives to quick and easy to get to is paramount. So, I want to share some of my favorite quick fixes and go tos that I fall on during the summer. Things like fresh fruit and a can of Ready Whip. Ready Whip really isn't that fattening. And if you use fresh fruit, and the thing is, get them pre-cut. That's a big one. Go to places like Wegman or your favorite grocery store, Whole Foods, places that you really trust with the quality of food they have. And just go ahead and get them pre-cut, because sometimes we just don't have the time to sit there and cut up a pineapple and a honeydew melon and a cantaloupe, and you can get this pack that has everything in it and ready to go. Get some of that in a nice glass bowl because you want to treat yourself, and do a little spin of Ready Whip on top. It is delicious. And then the thing is, have ready made easy tools to use. Now, I used to be a pampered chef consultant. So I have plenty of awesome tools in my kitchen. And those are the great things to use. I have one device that all I have to do is push down on it once, and it skins and cores a whole pineapple in one whop. and then something that cuts an apple for me, something that peels an apple for me. All these little great tools make your time in the kitchen fast and easy. And my all-time favorite, I'm sure you've heard me say before because I tell absolutely everyone, go to Sam's or whatever grocery store or Costco's or BJ's or Walmart, whoever makes rotisserie chickens, and get you a rotisserie chicken. And they have even different flavors. There's lemon, what is it? Lemon herb and basil and rosemary and all these, and just plain rotisserie chicken. But it's your choice, and you can break that rotisserie chicken up and have meals all through the week. Things like tacos, chicken tacos, or lettuce wraps. Lettuce wraps, add a little vegetables in there, some teriyaki sauce, and lettuce. And look how healthy that is. Not fattening at all. Tacos, they don't have to be loaded with cheese and all these things. Put some pico de gallo in there, a little bit of guacamole, because guacamole really is healthy. It's just the amount of guacamole you use. Make those chicken salads, but substitute that full Miracle Whip or mayonnaise with light Miracle Whip or mayonnaise, and use celery instead of sweet pickles, or use dill pickles. But celery gives it that great crunch. And then put it on lettuce instead of bread, or use crackers, but be careful with them crackers too, especially those Ritz crackers. And then you can put chicken, cut the chicken up and put it in salads. You can use it in green salads with all your mixed greens, or you can use it in pasta salad, or you can use it in quinoa salad, but use it in different things. And then you can make those casseroles like enchilada casseroles or another chicken casserole dish. But those are ways that you cut down your time in the kitchen, and you have healthy food pre-made, because there's nothing so easier to get than a taco or a lettuce wrap, or grab you some chicken salad and eat that on if you want bread, eat it on bread, but eat it on a piece of lettuce or something, or get you a salad, throw in a boiled egg and some rotisserie chicken, or have pasta salad already made, because the more it goes along, a few days, the better it gets because it soaks in that dressing and stuff. And those casseroles last a long time, and you can freeze them. So, the other thing besides our rotisserie chicken, I would encourage you, if you have no allergies, seafood is a great healthy alternative. And you can do boils with them or broils with them. My favorite, you put that corn, because summer is a great time to have that corn on the cob. Cut that corn in three pieces, put it in there with a potato that you cut in four pieces, put shrimp in there, and the seasonings, the Old Bay and all the seasonings, and put it in the oven wrapped up in foil, or put it in the grill wrapped up in foil. Oh my gosh. And it is a healthy alternative. And seafood also make a great appetizer. Nothing like a shrimp cocktail. You can do stir fries with it, salads with it, all these things you can use seafood for. And then always keep some boiled eggs on hand. I always have boiled eggs because I like them in my salad. Sometimes I cut them up and makes egg salad out of them. But there's so many things that you can do with salad. And if you don't have time to clean it and do all the hard work of getting lettuce, because sometimes I get my lettuce from our local farmers, but it takes a little bit more cleaning than getting it from the grocery store because it came right out of the dirt. But sometimes just getting bag salads, pre washed salads, so that you don't have to spend that much time in the prep time and making sure it's ready to go. But it's all about finding quick ways to go about making sure that you and your family have healthy alternatives to the quick things that we normally would grab, like Doritos, potato chips, or other things like that that are just not as a good alternative for you. Now, also, I want you to know that the grill is your best friend. It's just too hot and too beautiful to stay inside in the kitchen. So you want to be outside. And what better to do outside is even do your cooking outside. So my favorite place to cook in the summer is actually on the grill. In fact, we have 3 different types of grills, but I only cook on one. This girl is a gas grill girl. Okay, I'm a little OCD and I don't like getting dirty. So, gas grill it is. Really easy to take care of. Grills are not just for meats, and a lot of times that's what we think about, but you can put some of the best vegetables on the grill, and there's absolutely nothing as delicious as having grilled corn. And this is the time of year that the corn is so sweet that you don't even need butter and you really don't need salt, but some people do. The thing about grilling is it saves on electricity and other household things that you have to do that you're outside doing, like cleanup. It really saves on your cleanup, and cleaning a grill isn't that hard. Then this summer, grilling, eating, all of it is family friendly, and you can make your healthy eating family friendly. Look, I'm always talking about batching and finding ways to include others in what I'm doing. It's always fun with friends and or family, even if on the phone. Sometimes when I'm cooking or preparing a meal, I am talking to a friend the whole time that I am cooking. So it's always great to do with someone else. So when I'm doing, and I often invite others to come along with me when I'm doing things in some fashion or another. Like I said, on the phone, in person. Hey, I'm going to do, come out here and talk to me while I'm on the grill. Hey, let's do this together. It's just so much more fun. And this is especially true when it comes to food and summer, my 2 favorite things. I know it sounds bad, but my destinations usually have food somewhere in the equation. I do still keep it healthy, but especially today, you can almost always find a healthier choice no matter where you go. And you can do things like asking them for dressing on the side, sauce on the side, or no sauce, asking them to not use butter when they grill or use light butter, eating lighter, than you normally would, or having a lighter version of your meal, mixing the bread, sharing a dessert, lean meats or seafood, and grill versus fried. And believe it or not, you can even do this at places like carnivals and wineries. I know there is nothing I like more than a carnival. And one of my most favorite foods is a funnel cake. But I've pretty much given those up. One, Greece doesn't like me. And two, I just know that it isn't my healthiest alternative. And so my lifestyle has changed. So at a carnival, I like to eat things on a stick, like a banana on a stick, or sometimes popcorn, or so. I always look for the healthier alternative. There's always some kind of fruit there. And I don't totally ban myself from a sinful pleasure. The other thing is at a winery, we are totally surrounded where I live by wineries. And so I know that if I want to have a glass of wine, that is going to be my highest guilty pleasure. So then I'm careful on the other things that I choose. Or if I decide I'll have a little wine, then maybe I'll get something else that is healthier. My favorite wine place is called Quattro Goombas, and they have the most decadent Italian pizza. It is to live for. And so when I go there, I'm already prepared that that is what I'm going to eat. That will be my guilty pleasure. So I also scale back on what I eat the rest of that day and be very careful on my choices. Things like vegetables and fruit and stuff like that because I know that I'm going to give in to the guilty pleasure. The other thing is experiment, okay? Try something you haven't before. Now, our local grocer, or not grocer, our local farm up here, they have different pickling things too. And they have something called a dilly bean. What in the world is a dilly bean? But I am hooked. I love dilly beans. And now I have everyone in my family hooked on dilly beans too. What is it? It is a string bean that has been pickled just like a pickle. So you eat the string bean and it tastes just like a dill pickle, but it's so good and it's crunchy and it's small. So you just snap that thing in your mouth and you eat it. I can eat a half a jar of dilly beans and nothing flat. And they are so good and they're healthy. So I tried something new. Try combinations that you haven't before, too. Things like fruits into salad. I love putting raspberry and blueberries and strawberries in my salad, or apples, or nuts, walnuts, or pecans. They are great in salads, or feta, or olives. But try different things in your salad and see how the flavors mesh and complement each other. Have you ever tried apples and walnuts and chicken salad, or grapes and walnuts and chicken salad? It really is good. Now, I wouldn't use those if I was making a sandwich, but they're great for on lettuce or on crackers. Great way of having your chicken salad. And the other thing is strawberries with feta. Great combination. Using nuts instead of meat for different things. Like in my salad, instead of getting chicken or beef or something else, I'll put nuts in there. So I'm getting my protein, but I choose not to have meat at that time. Eating less meat is a wonderful thing on your body. Now, I can't give it up totally, but I do eat a lot less. And there are different ways of cooking for on the go food. Now, usually in breakfast time, it's hard to find things that you can get up and go that aren't fattening. But I have just about perfected what I call my oatmeal bars. They're called, I forgot what they call them. They're called baked oatmeal. And I found the recipe online, but I've taken it a step further and I absolutely love them. It was all the things that I didn't like about my baked oatmeal. I figured out how to counteract that and make it where it's more pleasant to me. So now it's just as healthy, same amount of calorie count, but it's better. I use things like carrot chips instead of chocolate chips and instead of raisins to make it taste more because I love chocolate. I put a little stuff like baking powder and baking soda in it to make it rise some. I put a little bit more oatmeal in it so that it wouldn't be as wet. Of course, the recipe called for instead of oil, we use um, applesauce, almond milk instead of real milk. So there are ways of making things healthy but good. And I load it down, I have to tell you this, with um, sweet potato pie spices and cinnamon and ginger. So it has this spicy flavor to it, right? And then you can do things like frozen bananas on a stick. Oh my gosh. And if you really want to push it, dip it into dark chocolate. But that's a great healthier snack. Homemade sorbet is really easy. You get you a half a banana and like 6 strawberries, and you puree those in your bullet or ninja bullet or whatever, and you put them in the freezer, and you have frozen sorbet, and it tastes just like ice cream or the sorbet that you would get at Cold Stone Creamery. And then things like smoothies. Smoothies are my go-to saving grace when I have this craving for ice cream because I only allow myself 2 times in the summer to get that real ice cream because my ice cream has to be from Cold Stone Creamery. So the rest of the time I have my protein smoothie and I make it with frozen fruit, coconut water, either kale or spinach, and pea protein powder. So I don't even use whey because remember, milk and I aren't friends. So and when I get it, it tastes like a milkshake made with milk. So it's awesome. And then try things like kale salad and pecan crusted fish. See, I bet you never would have thought that. And both of those are healthy alternatives. The kale salad is great for you because one, it's raw. So you get all your nutrients. And the pecan crusted fish is kind of like having fried fish, but not having that little crunch on the top. And so these are healthy alternatives that I believe help you when you experiment. So which one of those are you going to try? Huh? Which one? I would love to hear which one you're going to try. But my favorite go-tos, I couldn't leave you without sharing what my favorite go-tos are. For breakfast, it's the oatmeal bars. That's why I spent so long on those. Smoothies when I'm jonesing for ice cream, seafood, but especially Dungeness crabs. Corn, oh, it is so satisfying in the summer. Cucumber salad, so refreshing. Cucumbers, onions, and tomatoes with a vinaigrette dressing. Oh my gosh, so good. Stuffed eggs. I hate saying deviled eggs. So stuffed eggs, but instead of pickles, I use that celery. And then salads, all kinds of salads with mixed greens. These are my favorite go-tos during the summer. And my favorite fruit, watermelon. I can eat watermelon every day. This episode has been so fun for me, and I hope for you also. I told you I could talk about food all day long. And so I am so glad you were able to hang out with me today, talking about my favorite subject, ringside. You are amazing. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit subscribe or follow, depending on your platform, so you don't miss a single episode. One more thing I want you to do, and that's visit masteringyourmonday.com/pathway. And that's where you'll find my goodies and gifts just for you. Make sure to let me know how I can serve you better. And masteringyourmonday.com/pathway is just the place to do that. Remember, master every day like it's your Monday. Until next time, take care. Bye bye. I want to thank you for listening to the Mastering Your Monday podcast. I hope you learned at least one tip or technique you can walk away with and implement today. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show, and let us know how much you enjoyed it and what you learned from this episode. We honor your time and your commitment to Mastering Your Monday podcast. And as always, we want to remind you, you are cherished, respected, valued, and in control. See you on the next episode.